Today I have the pleasure of sitting here with Abel Biri. He is the CEO of AdventHealth Waterman here in Tavares. And I had the opportunity to meet you, Abel, a few weeks ago, and when I've heard about you and what you do for our community and what you do for the hospital, I was quite impressed. So I said, you know what? Everybody needs to know what you're doing. Everybody needs to hear what you do every year. You do a walk in Spain that is called El Camino de Santiago. So, and you're getting ready to go and do it in November. So tell us all about it.
Well, thank you, Monica. First of all, I appreciate you doing this to create awareness for this clinic. Camino de Santiago is a trail of networks that all end in this small town in the northwest of Spain called Santiago de Compostela. And the primary trail, though, although there are several, is called Camino Frances, and it starts on the Spanish and French border, and it trails about 800 kilometers to this town. And so, as you said, it's a long hike. It has its roots in really kind of back in the 9th century. So it's a trail that has been walked by millions of pilgrims over the years, about 1,100 years old, built by the Romans. But the legend has it that the remains of St. James, the Apostle of Christ, his remains are interned there. And so early Christians made pilgrimage from across Europe. And so that kind of became the thing. Over the years, over the centuries, it has become a little more of a walk of reflection and growth and development for individuals and groups. But for me, it's just something I started to do a couple of years back. And obviously, as I said, it's 800 kilometers, so it takes a long time to do. Given my schedule, I've broken that up into multiple years, and so this is the next one coming up in a few weeks.
So usually, I have so many questions. So usually you do this walk to raise funds, right? You do it for a purpose. So this year, what is the purpose of the walk?
Yeah. So this year it is to support our clinic, our community health clinic that provides care for uninsured and underinsured individuals in our community. It really is set to support those that are less fortunate among us. And healthcare is expensive, and it's not always accessible or affordable to many. And so I have the good fortune of running a large healthcare facility here in Lake County, but recognizing that not everyone has the ability to access that. And so we've been operating this free clinic for really over 20 years. But this time it's the focal point for my walk. And so it's just merging things that the walk that is important to me personally, but also trying to figure out how we can create awareness for something very specific.
I had the opportunity to visit the clinic a few weeks ago, and I was quite impressed on what you guys are doing and what you're offering the community. And what I learned is the funds that you will be raising is to bring in a system into the clinic that connects directly with the hospital. So if somebody gets hospitalized or they go to the clinic first or vice versa, both centers will be connected. So that's pretty cool.
Correct. So it allows us to provide them a continuum of care beyond their ability that happens in the clinic. It also allows us to be able to connect with AdventHealth subspecialists, whether that's urology or general surgery or orthopedics. So the patient, once they access our network, we're able to actually provide them a robust support system. But bringing the clinic onto that network is important. Neat. So that's what this walk and fundraising is going to be about.
Another thing that really caught my attention is that many of the doctors that work here at the hospital, they go and volunteer. So it's really a group effort from you going on the walk to raise funds. The doctors here, specialists here that give their time freely to go to the clinic and help people in our community. To be honest with you, I had no idea about the clinic. I had no idea that this was available here in Lake County for people that don't have health insurance.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's a real important point I do want to highlight, right? So the specialists that are able to access this right now would have to go physically and see patients there, and that often is very inconvenient, not to mention that there might be additional equipment or technology that they might have to carry with them in order to provide the full spectrum of care. But once we connect this through this network of medical record system, then the patients can actually come to the physicians, to the specialist's office, as opposed to the specialist having to go to the clinic. So that's kind of a way to really enhance the full complement of care for the uninsured.
yes, that's amazing. Well, going back to the walk, so you're leaving in November.
I am.
Okay, so how many days are you going to be doing the walk?
So this one is going to be 200 kilometers for over 9 days.
Over 9 days.
Over 9 days. So it'd be roughly about 125, 130 miles.
Is there an experience that you can share from a previous walk, something that really stuck in your mind, that you think about it often, that you can share? I'm sorry I cut you on the spot on that.
No, that's all right. That's all right. So yes, you know, I've done this in sections. So this will be the third walk for me in terms of doing this in sections. What I can tell you is every time I go, there is a sense of renewal. There's peace that comes with isolation. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but when you're out in nature and you're just walking, you've kind of stripped life to the most basic, and you've got a backpack, and you're spending time just really reflecting. And it's both a spiritual renewal. It is it's also an endurance game in some ways,
Sure.
but it is uplifting. And really, one of the big things for me is the people you meet along this pilgrimage. You know, on the trail, everyone is a pilgrim. Nobody cares about your title. Nobody cares about what you do or who you are. You are just a fellow pilgrim. And so connections happen at the most basic level because everybody's thinking through all the beautiful things in life, or your blessings, or you're working through something. But it just is just a fascinating pilgrimage.
That's pretty amazing. Can I go with you next year?
It is. You can go year round. Oftentimes, it is. All you've got to do is go once, and you'll be hooked.
Wow.
So it is absolutely something I would recommend that people do.
So when you return, is there a place where people can read about your journey? How can people know about what happened after?
No, that's a great point. So in fact, we're going to have a social media account that will be actively running before I leave.
Okay.
Our foundation, AdventHealth Waterman's foundation, is going to be running that. And there will be an opportunity to donate. And along the way, I'm actually going to send pictures or video reflections so you can follow me on my trail. So we're going to try and make this as engaging and interactive as possible. And so there'll be plenty of opportunities to push content out to people.
Sure.
Yeah.
What's the goal? How much money do we need to raise to help the clinic?
Our goal is $100,000.
Okay.
And I think there are enough people with vested interest in supporting people that I'm pretty confident that we'll get there. And obviously the work you're doing to spread the word is one of the reasons that I have confidence that we'll reach it. And let me just thank you in advance again for doing that.
Pleasure. Well, we're going to be posting the link here for you guys to have access to donate, and stay tuned. Abel, thank you so much for having me here today, and I cannot wait to hear all about your journey.
Monica, my pleasure. Thank you so
Thanks.
much.